have it's got a great honor to have met Mrs. Greenberger, Greenberger here here we are in Austria, in Vienna, and you live here in Vienna?
Since 60 years.
60 years in Vienna. Wow, and you were born in Yugoslavia. In which town in Yugoslavia?
In the meantime, I was in Israel.
Wow,
8 years.
which town in Yugoslavia?
I was born in 36, and then I was 4 years in Hungary because the Nazis didn't come to Hungary till 44.
But where in Yugoslavia? Which town?
Which town? Zrenjanin, a little town.
And what is it today? Is it part of
Yugoslavia.
And then you went to Hungary. Were you in Budapest?
Budapest. My grandmother lived in Budapest, so we left Yugoslavia as the Nazis came. They first took all the men in lagers, and my father also didn't come. They were all shot on the place.
Did they take your father as well? They took your father?
Yes, my father and his brothers, all the men, and then.
And they
had our Muslim. We had a grandmother in Budapest, so we fled to Budapest.
And
my mother and my sister.
Your father and your brothers were killed?
No, my father was killed in 41.
Wait.
They were shot in. They had to dig the holes where they were shot in these holes.
And the Nazis did it? Oy, boy.
My grandfather had the luck to say that he was in the old age home of Belgrade. He could live there, and he died there in the old age. But his sons and all the family, the male families were shot on the place.
And you came to...
And my mother didn't know about it. We came back to Yugoslavia. We heard about it. And then people told us, people who live there in the city told us.
And in Budapest, you were there?
In Budapest, my mother could achieve falsified documents. So we went with other names, my mother and my sister and me, so we could hide from the Nazis.
Wow. And how old were you when you were in Budapest?
From 5 to 8. 4 to 8.
And you still remember?
Yes.
Something one never forgets.
But my mother said she doesn't want to go with the yellow
Star.
And then she could buy falsificate the papers, and then we went from town to town.
Wow.
It was risky because people where we live always ask how do your daughters don't go to school, and she said we stay only 2 days, and we went to another place always till we arrived at the border to Romania, and from there come the Soviet army and freed, and from there we could go. We had relatives in Romania and waited in Romania till the war was ended in Yugoslavia also, because the war went on there with the partisans.
Yeah.
And then it was half a year later, return to Yugoslavia and find that nobody did.
It must have been very difficult. You remember going back to Yugoslavia?
Yeah.
It must have been so difficult.
Yeah.
And did you stay in Yugoslavia or you
The President Tito allowed the Jews in 48 to leave to Israel. And he even they gave a ship for the families with little children, and the others had the ships from the Haganah. We were, yeah, I was 13, so I was not a little child, and my sister also. So we went with the ship of the Haganah to Haifa.
And this was in 48?
48, but after it was in December 48. In the half a year before was Israel declared. No?
Wow. And let me ask, when you were in Yugoslavia, Greenberger, can I just ask, when you were in Yugoslavia and you came back, did
Yes.
you go back to your house that you once had?
No.
Was it taken over?
Everything was taken away. And our, how to say, accountant of our business who lived in the house near us, my mother said, Frau Braun, Sie leben noch, you live yet. They didn't understand that we live yet. Because all the Jews are here.
But they were happy to see you.
Yes, he was the accountant in the business from our family.
A non-Jewish accountant.
No, a German.
But he was happy that you were...
But he was then repelled to say from there, and they came to Vienna. The German originals. They were not Nazis, but we didn't find anything. My mother found on her piano in a village near us, how to say, at the Pope. This was the only thing that remained from 3 houses from our families. One piano.
And did they give you back the piano?
Yes, the Pope. It was the Pope, how to say, not Pope. The Catholic
The church.
church, yeah.
And what happened to the house? Is the house still...
The house, other people took the house.
But
Then came the communists, and you could not own houses. It was everything belonging to the state. And then we left to Israel.
And you were in Israel for 8 years?
Yes.
So you remember the War of Independence and...
No, it was after.
After?
Half a year after. Yes. I only now later I heard that in the ship from the Haganah was full of weapons for the Haganah, and we had to wait one night in Haifa. Could not get off the ship till they took all the weapons.
Wow.
That we heard it only later.
And where did you live in Israel?
Yes, in Tel Aviv.
And you were happy there growing up? You were there with your mother?
With mother and my sister.
And why did you leave? Why did you leave Israel?
Why did we leave? Because I have to tell everything. My grandfather from Budapest had a little house here in Vienna. And as the communists left, he had the opportunity to sell the house. So my mother came to Vienna, and she had good friends from New York, and they helped her to go to New York. And I have my sister return to Israel. All our life.
And Ms. Greenberg, can I just ask you, living in Vienna, has it been difficult knowing the history, what happened here as well?
We didn't have so much opportunity to judge it, but and then I worked in the Jewish agency, so I was always Israeli people together. We didn't interfere with the non-Jews, but my husband studied here and he works now yet in the great hospital in Vienna, but he only once he had an incident with Nazis.
Over here?
Only once.
And from Jew, you feel comfortable here in Vienna?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are in the Jewish.
It's a nice neighborhood. Yeah.
You know all the Jewish Stiblach you have here.
It's very nice.
You came along?
And looking back, sure, it must be very difficult to have gone through what you went through. Baruch Hashem, you left your mother, that she didn't stay behind. She must have been a very courageous woman, your mother.
Yes, she was strong. And she went from here to New York and lived there a few years.
Do you still have family, your sisters in Israel?
My husband has two sisters in New York, not in Israel.
And do you have any family in Israel?
In Israel, I have a daughter.
A daughter, wonderful. Where does she stay?
In Jerusalem. And next week we go there to the chasana from the other daughter, from her niece.
Wow. Which suburb in Yerushalayim?
Yerushalayim.
Where? Do you know which suburb? Which shkona? Which area? So I'm in Beit Vegan. It's very close.
Oh, yes.
Wow. It's amazing.
The family of my husband, no, not from my son-in-law in Beit Vegan.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's a small world. Anyway, it's such an honor, Mamash, a big skut, a very big honor and a privilege to have spoken to you, and thank you so much for...
And where do you live?
I'm in Beit Vegan.
Beit
Vegan, in Yerushalayim, yeah.
But you are origin from the States?
South Africa. But our family is originally from Lita, but via South Africa, and now I'm in Israel. All the very best. You should just have mazel and bracha at May Vestrim till 120, and just happiness, health, and all of Hashem's blessings. And really, Toda Rabah. Thank you so much.
A nice time in Vienna.
Toda Rabah.
This is a sightseeing. You have been before in Vienna?
I came with my daughter, but it's very nice. No, it is. It's very special. All the very best, Rubes. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.